Hey everyone, and welcome to today's explainer. So, have you ever stopped to wonder what the single most valuable thing in the entire universe actually is? Well, today we are going on the ultimate treasure hunt. We're digging into an incredible historical and spiritual text, a devotional that reveals an absolute truth bomb about value, worth, and what truly matters in the grand scheme of things. Get ready, because you're about to discover something absolutely amazing about yourself. So if I asked you right now to guess what the most expensive treasure in the world is, what would you say? Would you guess it's a massive mountain of sparkling diamonds? Maybe a hidden chest of ancient pirate loot? Or, I don't know, a collection of ultra-rare coins? Most people would definitely guess something shiny that you can lock up in a giant bank vault. But according to the amazing source material we're looking at today, the surprising truth is, the ultimate treasure isn't buried in the ground. The ultimate treasure is actually you. Let's see exactly how the text breaks this down. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand what true value means here, we got to travel way back in time to look at something called the Golden Wedge of Ophir. Now, in ancient times, Ophir was legendary. It was famous for producing the purest, most ultra-rare gold you could possibly find anywhere. It was the absolute top-tier standard of wealth. If you had the gold of Ophir, you were considered incredibly rich. But our source text points out that most people completely miss the true value of a human being. They just don't realize what real worth is. So the text uses this famous, ridiculously rare gold to make a massive comparison. The ancient prophet Isaiah actually captured this perfectly. In chapter 13, he wrote, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir." I mean, think about that for a second. God is saying that when he looks at you, he doesn't care about shiny metals or money. He sees your purity, your nobility, and your integrity of character. The text tells us that cultivating those good traits brings incredible glory to God. Basically, your character makes you far, far more glorious and precious than the rarest, most expensive gold the world has ever seen. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. Just imagine a giant, super heavy block of that rare Ophir gold sitting right next to you. If you were to weigh them on a cosmic scale, that massive chunk of rare gold literally wouldn't even come close to your worth. The text emphasizes that very few people actually appreciate this value. They get easily distracted by earthly money and stuff. But God sees the big picture. He values your pure heart, your good choices, and who you are on the inside infinitely more than any block of gold. Now, because you are so unbelievably valuable, it means your time here is exceedingly valuable too. The text calls our short time on Earth a period while probation lingers. Now, that doesn't mean you're grounded or in trouble. It just means right now is your testing period. It's your one big chance to make choices and do something incredible with the life you've been given. And it absolutely shouldn't be wasted. So what exactly are you supposed to do with this exceedingly valuable time? Well, what exactly is your earthly mission? Our source breaks it down into 3 really clear, actionable steps. First, God proposes to unite his strength with our limited, everyday weakness. That means you don't have to be perfectly strong on your own. Pretty awesome, right? Second, you need to improve the talents he's given you. Think of your talents like your own personal superpowers. And third, you use those superpowers to be a blessing to others. The crucial point here is, you take your talents, you let God add his strength to them, and you use them to help the people around you. And if you dedicate your life to that mission of blessing others, the text describes an ultimate reward that is frankly breathtaking. It quotes the King of Glory, speaking words that will fall upon the ears of those who truly love God. The text says it will sound like the richest, most beautiful music you could ever possibly hear. The words are, "Come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." Imagine hearing that, the most beautiful music ever, welcoming you into a kingdom that's been waiting for you since the very beginning of the world. So what does that kingdom actually look like? The text tells us that the gates of heaven will be thrown wide open, and the redeemed will be welcomed to special mansions. Yes, literal mansions. The text makes it crystal clear that Jesus is preparing these mansions specifically for them. It's a bright, absolutely perfect future. It's the ultimate home where you are celebrated, a place custom built for those who have spent their valuable earthly time loving God and blessing others. But who are you going to hang out with in these mansions? The text is super specific here. Your companions definitely won't be the vile or bad people of the earth. You won't be around liars or bad influences. Instead, you'll be associating with incredible people who, through divine aid, actually overcame Satan's tricks. You'll be surrounded by people who formed perfect characters. And it gets even cooler. The text says you will stand around the great white throne, sharing the exact same dignity and privileges as the angels. No way, right? Now, I know what you might be thinking right about now. Hold on, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes literally all the time. Well, the source text offers the absolute most comforting reassurance for that exact feeling. It says that every single sinful tendency and absolutely every imperfection that afflicts you here on earth will be entirely removed. How? By the blood of Christ. That means all those earthly struggles, all the bad habits, all the times you feel like you just messed up completely, they are entirely erased. You are made completely clean and without fault. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredible visual language the author uses to describe what happens next. The excellence and brightness of his glory is imparted to you. The text says you will shine far exceeding the brightness of the sun in its meridian splendor. To put that into perspective, that means you'll be brighter than the sun at the very middle of the day when it's at its absolute hottest and brightest. But here's the thing, it's not just a physical light, it's a moral beauty. It's the perfection of character shining out, which is worth far, far more than just outward flashy splendor. Honestly, it's almost impossible for us to even picture just how amazing this all is. The text shares a quote from 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9 to explain this perfectly. Eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man, the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. Basically, no matter how wild your imagination gets, no matter how big you can dream in your own heart, the glorious inheritance that's waiting for you is way, way better than anything you can possibly dream up. When you zoom out and look at the big picture, you start to see a stark contrast between two entirely different kinds of wealth. On one side, you have earthly wealth. As the text points out, a person might be considered completely poor in the eyes of the world. They might not have a lot of money, fancy clothes, and they definitely don't have that golden wedge of Ophir. But on the flip side, there is the soul's wealth. That person possesses a wealth and dignity inside themselves that the world could never, ever bestow on them. A soul that is redeemed, cleansed from sin, with all its noble powers dedicated to serving God is of surpassing worth. So when you realize this unimaginable, glorious inheritance waiting for you, and when you understand that God considers your character to be far more precious than the rarest gold on the planet, it hits you. Your soul is completely priceless. You couldn't buy it with all the money, all the diamonds, or all the pirate loot in the entire world. Use your talents, be a blessing, and never forget your true worth. Which leaves us with this final, unforgettable question from our text to think about today. What shall a man give in exchange for his soul?